Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just so, most people are so fucking stupid that it's not even worth giving your attention or your truths to. Like, the reality is that I keep a very small group of people that I talk to. It's because I can feel like can have like actual discussions with people. But I have a very low opinion of everybody outside of that group. So I guess you could take that as a very indirect compliment. But like the reality is that you hear about how everybody's so important and everybody's story matters. No, it fucking doesn't. The average person is completely fucking irrelevant and is barely worth the air that they breathe. Like talking to some of these people, and like I'm tired of pretending that every like I it's the biggest failing with the way things are set up right now. Like I want to have faith in people and believe in people making the right choice for things. And that's why democracy doesn't work because people are too fucking stupid. Like it would be funny if this like world that we lived in was like the setting for like a comedy story critiquing the real world or something, but it's not. This is what's actually happening, and it's so fucking stupid. It's not all Americans. There are specific words. My favorite are the Chinese have this word baizuo, which is to call people the like white liberals that uh well, no, it's not a white devil. It's literally like sort of like a word that means like the white savior complex, where it's you're racist and you're not in a way that you're not discriminating against people, but you're coddling them in a way that you wouldn't coddle somebody else because you think that it's a virtuous white person, you need to uplift them. Like it's even if you think you're doing something good, it's still racism because you're still expecting a minority to have a worse outcome. If you call my friend Bailey, you've met a Baizuo, he gets really mad. But the reality is that a lot of the people calling Americans stupid aren't exactly geniuses themselves. Like what? Some fucking guy in Britain that can't even figure out how to put an AC unit in his window is gonna call me stupid as an American while bitching that it's too hot. Like, I call them Euro pores. But that's my problem is that I play it off like I don't give a shit, but I care too much for my own good. If I had any charisma, I'd be running for office, but I'm not the kind of person that you want to have as your face. I'm the kind of person that does things from behind the scenes. It can be both depending on the context. Everybody always told me that they thought I'd be a lawyer. That makes me think of two lines. One is from one of the most famous Batman comics ever, The Killing Joke, where the Joker makes a comment about why his backstory never makes sense, and he's like, if I have a history, I'd rather it be multiple choice. And the other was a line from Mad Men where, sort of what I do, where you deliberately obfuscate information about yourself because you have a novel you want to sell, right? Well, if people know too much about my history, then they won't buy my autobiography. I just have to become important enough for people to care. Well, dude, look at fucking Trump. His claim to fame is Art of the Deal. Trump did not write a single word of that book. Everything is fucking made up lies for publicity. There's nothing in this world that is what it seems for the most part if it's being presented by some corporation or a politician. Everything's doctored. Everything is fucking fake anymore. The only thing that's real are the interactions you have with your friends. Everything else is fucking fake. The dude doesn't have any position. He's nothing. He doesn't have any stance on anything. He just says things to play to the crowd that he's in front of. He doesn't believe in anything. And that's what people don't realize about him. He'll say something and then say the exact opposite in the next sentence without even blinking. Like, he doesn't have any stances of his own. He just says what the crowd wants to hear. Like, people complain about Trump as being like, this is what's wrong with our system. He's not what's wrong with the country. He's a symptom of the rot. But Donald Trump is not the root. The man has not done a single good thing in his entire life. His entire career was him scamming other people. I'm not kidding you. Like, look, I am being entirely serious right now. I know you're joking. I know, but just let me tell you the story. Well, I know you are, and I got you. I know you're joking. But this is what pisses me off, is he goes around calling other people corrupt and crooked. His entire career was him. He'd hire Bob's window repairs to come do the windows in his building. And then he would just not pay you at the end. And then what are you going to do? You're going to sue the billionaire? He can dry you out before the trial even begins. Like, he would just screw people out of money and take advantage of the fact that they knew that they couldn't sue him because he had more money than they did. And he screwed a ton of people out of contracting work like this. Well, you've had. I don't really know much about them directly because I think I've only met them in passing. But I've heard nothing I've heard about them has been good. Or as Angie calls it, chinchies. Or no, that was my GPS. Angie calls Monticello's Monticellos. That's what it was. Oh shit, I forgot that was there. We used to go there before football games. Like what? Like, well, they all do it. Like, there was this one, it was like a GoFundMe or something that Trump endorsed that they were going to use it to build the wall. It was run by Steve Bannon, and a bunch of people had made donations to it. And guess what that money went? It went straight into Steve Bannon's pocket. When they scam people, they don't scam rich people because rich people can afford lawyers. They scam people that can't afford to fight back. It's what happens with all this crypto shit anymore. It's all fucked up. The only way to fix it is to wipe the slate, but it'll never happen. I have a picture-in-picture screen up. I'm not looking at this console right now. I'm drinking. think that's going to be Kamala Harris's running mate. Or pink haired guy. Heckin' cute and valid. It's hard to tell. My screen's too small. I think I might actually use the PS5, but I don't know where my glasses are. I did find one hitch with this Portal. Elden Ring suffers quite a bit when you try to play it on this thing. Where I mean, that's also the worst example of kind of game to play on this because there's like zero room for error when you're trying to like deal with invincibility frames and stuff. What's the fuck? Sorry. Did you just hear a ding? Why is my ear dinging? Oh, my earbuds are getting low. I'm gonna switch to the speaker, I guess. Give me one sec. Oh, there you are. Word. I did find a flaw with the PlayStation earbuds, by the way. It's a two-part thing. One is if you leave the case open, it'll just keep draining the battery constantly, and it's pretty easy for that thing to slide open if you like drop it or whatever. And if the case does discharge completely, getting it to power back on is an experience sometimes. I had to hold the power button on this thing for like a minute and a half for it to do anything last time it happened. Apparently, I said something that made my speaker. I don't know if you heard Siri there, but she thinks I'm talking to her. Shut the fuck up, bitch! Siri. I have one of the HomePod things, which is a speaker that it's sort of like a Google Home kind of thing, but you talk to it by saying Siri, and it thought I said Siri, and now that I keep saying Siri, it keeps responding to me like I'm talking to it. I heard somebody talking, but I couldn't. It was really mumbled. Since you were taking them, I've got to ask your opinion. What do you prefer, edibles or those like things with the weird word that you're supposed to let dissolve in your mouth? Troches. What do you think is better to pick up if I was going to get something like that? Dude, it's weird for me because like you're one of the few people that would understand this feeling. My tolerance is like I like no kids. shit. I haven't felt anything smoking weed for the most part. Like in terms of like getting high, like I feel like a nice feeling or whatever, but I haven't gotten like high in years. You've probably noticed me falling asleep on you a lot this week. I don't know what's been going on with me like these past couple of days where I was so tired. I finally shook it, I think. Well, I know exactly what was causing it, but it's a little personal. Wink, wink. I love the pharmacy also. So my prescription when I was getting 30/20s and 30/10 in Adderall was like I paid like $50 for the two bottles, and I just got it up to 60/20s, and it was like $24. I fucking love it. It's like half the price to have the dose increased. Maybe we should go harass the Muslim guy for a bit. I'll put some super complicated order in. It's at 7-Eleven. It was so funny running into you last night. I'm gonna put an order in under Allah, and he'll have to make it free. Dude, I don't know if you feel this way, but like that dude like makes me like really uncomfortable whenever he's the one working at that store. Cause like I don't know what it is. Like I don't feel like in danger or anything, but like he's just like really rude. He's a Muslim. It's probably Muhammad Bala Abdul. Xavier is a black name. I'll have to remember to do that. Well, the only reason I go there is if there's like a particularly good deal because I pay for the 7-Eleven gold thing. The computer lady at my middle school was Glenna Slater. I remember because I got in trouble because I was always the guy that was like either like finding his way into things he wasn't supposed to or whatever. It was funny because like I wasn't even like that knowledgeable with computers as a kid, but like if anything went wrong at my middle school with the computers, they would assume that I hacked the computers or something. So I started to play into it because like it was a clout kind of thing. I had my comeuppance. I don't know if I told you this story where in AP Music in 11th grade, I found an exploit in the grade book that basically, if you took a test, it let you intercept the score that got sent to the grade book, so you could put in any score that you wanted. and I taught my friends in the class how to do it, and them being loyal friends did exactly what I told them and didn't tell anybody else. And soon enough, everybody that was in the class knew how to do it and was cheating. They never found out that I was the one that started it. They just assumed I just played it off like I was somebody that figured it out or learned about it. Because what happened was is the AP music teacher kind of screwed me up because she announced that she was closing the grade book at the end of the period, and my intention was to go home and screw with the grade book when I got home, and I panicked and did it on the computer in the lab while I was in the class, and she was recording our computers. I didn't know you could do that on Macs, but she had a full screen recording of me doing it and caught me. I was the last person to get caught. But that wasn't even hacking, to be honest with you. Like, all I did was there was a Firefox extension called Tamper Data that I had used to cheat in a Facebook game, one of those like tower building games that everybody used to play all those years ago, where you had to make it as tall as you could without it collapsing. And I used it to cheat in that. And then I was in this class, and I was just as unmotivated and lazy as I am now. And I was like, well, how can I get around all these stupid tests that I have to take? And then I realized I could just use that extension to do the same thing with that class. But I didn't hack anything. But of course, everybody that knew about it thought I was some sort of like fucking god of computing because of it. And of course, you know me, I played it up. But I grew up on computers, so this shit is like my lifeblood. Like when I was a little kid, I didn't have any friends. I went on the computer. We moved around so much that like I couldn't make any consistent friends when I was a little kid. And then when I moved to Marshall Township when I came here, all the kids fucking bullied me. So I'm pretty hot, but I'm drinking and doing blow, so that's to be expected. I can tell you what temperature it is actually, because my home pod has a thermometer in it. It is. I am probably going to get up and turn it down a little bit. Oh, it's not even working right now. Great. It's 67 in here right now, which isn't too bad. This is funny, by the way. I'm going to send you a screenshot of my home app because it's telling me that my HomePod, which is like the Apple smart speaker, I keep it in my bathroom. It's telling me that it's offline while giving me data that it's pulling from the HomePod. Like it tells me the temperature inside, and it wouldn't be able to get that if the HomePod didn't have it. Stuff's pretty cool though. I want to buy a smart thermostat. I also want to buy a screen thingy for my car so I can get CarPlay up. That actually might be more important. If you black of skin and full of skin, come forth, so I may lay my hands upon you. Black, be gone! Praise Lord Jesus! You can make a suicide pact real quick. I tell myself that I stay alive because if there is a God, I want to spite him every iota and minute of my existence. That's based. Now, is there a rest until X time feature, or do you have to play through the entire cycle? Well, I mean, like, is there like you can rest in a bed until night night during this day, or do you have to like actually stay through the whole cycle of day and night? There's no like skip to the future or anything. Okay, so it's a game that cycle actually matters because I've been noticing a lot of modern games have half-baked day and night cycles. Yeah, I'll pull it back up. Jesus Christ, my controller just went fucking wild and I almost kicked you out of the party. I think the game, like it must have lagged for a second because like it stopped taking inputs and then the fucking cursor just like started shooting all over the place. It definitely looks like the kind of game that would not work well on the portal. It seems like there's too much going on. Like I don't know if it's the internet or if it's the stream because it's lagging just me watching you. Yeah, I got you up. Have you ever heard this phrase before? It's like I guess it's like a euphemism for casual games where people call games cozy games. There's something about that phrase that just makes me really angry for some reason. Well, When I think cozy games, I think of generic farm game that's designed to cash in on the casual person that doesn't know anything about games or quality and is just some lazy piece of shit mass produced. That looks a lot more modern than I was expecting. How is the game always in black and white, or is that just because you have your gun up? Oh, I honestly don't know anything about night vision goggles outside of the spy kit ones that I had when I was a little kid that didn't work, so I can't say. Are you talking about in the game or in real life? I've never really been like super thrilled about like those survival mechanics. Like I remember Don't Starve, a bunch of people were playing that when that came out, and I've never really liked the whole having to like keep track of like hunger and shit like that on top of other things. I see that you've played this game that I just downloaded, but I don't know how much you played. Have you that Outward or Out? Yeah, it was. I bought it because it looked interesting, but I because I can play it. My issue was is that even with my glasses on, the text was too small to see on the TV. But I can actually read the text on the portal now. I have played absolutely none of the game that I remember. Like I think I died a couple of times, but like I keep respawning at the cutscene where you get told about your debt that you have to pay off or whatever. I've done basically nothing. It's funny they have that mechanic. There's one other game that I've played. It's this series that I used to be into a bunch when I was younger. I still like it, but they haven't really released any games in it recently, so I can't say that I'm like a current fan of it because there's nothing to play. If you've ever heard of Tales of, there's a bunch of them. So the way it works is it's like your typical JRPG. You have a party with like your mage, your healer, or whatever. But when you go into combat, it's not like a menu based thing. It's like you go into like a fighting game grid, and you control your character and have like attacks and shit that you do, and the other characters are running around in this grid, and it's 3D, so you can move around this the grid fully until you kill all the enemies during the encounter. It's a pretty neat game. Out, sorry, let me see. Outward. And I used to be like really autistically obsessed with the Tales games, dude. Like, yeah, Outward. Yeah, I have it. I bought it or it was free on PlayStation at one point, but I own it. Yeah, yeah, I bet I'll do the same because I haven't really done anything in this file. Oh, I wanted to play this game for a while, so it sounds good. I should have got some ice cream when I was out. Oh, I'm not leaving my house again tonight. I've drank too much. Hey, if you want the best internet this side of the Mississippi, and need a place to crash. I have my internet's probably infinitely better than yours. What you got? Because I'm pretty sure that game only took like 15 minutes to download on mine. Mind you, I pay $120 a month for internet, so I wasn't planning on leaving. I I can assure you that while you have the right idea in your head, the actual difference that that would make would be almost negligible. I would pause that video you have playing and or put it on data. Well, it's still using bandwidth. I don't know how much bandwidth you have. I'd have to run internet tests on your network, but because you don't just have to worry about your speed, you have to. Your bandwidth is how much of it's a congestion. But mind you, my internet that I have here, I don't really have to worry about that because I get the best of the best, which is definitely overkill for my use case, to be honest with you. But I like big number. One thing I need to do is get my band split because I don't know how familiar you are with Wi-Fi technology, but there's 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz, different frequencies. So the way it works is 2.4, it has better range and penetration, but it's slower. And 5 gigahertz is faster, but it suffers if you're far away from the router. And all these fucking ISP routers think they're being helpful. They combine the two networks into one network that automatically manages what frequency you're connected to, and it's fucking garbage because it never works the way it should. Because what I would do is I'd put all the devices that I care about on the 5 gigahertz, and then like all my smart devices on the 2.4. But Armstrong knows better than me, I guess. This is another moment where knowing something ends up being a curse because you deal with these people that treat you like you're a fucking retard. And it's like, dude, I know your job better than you do, I promise. And like, there's not many things I would say that statement about, but computer and IT stuff is one of them. Oh, that's neat. You can change how loud the beep when you turn your PlayStation on is. Not that that would really matter for me anymore, but if you don't want to wake your girlfriend up, girls are gross though. I just made it's my that's my joke because of It's funny for me because like my entire life I had this like weird relationship with women in general where like I never really came to terms with being gay until I was older, but like I sort of feel like you're expected to feel something towards them, and you don't feel anything at all. And like I know that the stereotype is the most gay people have female friends rather than guy friends, but I was the opposite because I felt like incredibly uncomfortable around women when I was younger. It wasn't really until I got out of college that I sort of got over that. Like that's why I like being friends with Angie so much because she sort of helped give me like a grounding in terms of where to set my perspective there. Because like my entire life, I always had this like really uncomfortable feeling being around women, and it didn't help that in high school I didn't really present myself as gay at all, and I had girls like fucking throwing themselves at me. I gotta say though, you've met my friend Joe, the big guy. I have to respect that he was the first and only person to ever figure it out without me saying anything because he mentioned something to me about how when you're out at the bar with somebody, you normally point out girls or whatever, and I was the only one of his male friends that never really did that or like mentioned anything at all. Mind you, I don't really do that with if I see a guy that I find attractive either. I'm not really. I'm too passive for that, I guess. I might be able to add you as a family member on my account and give you access to my games. I was thinking if you wanted to try any of the games that I have, I can't use my actual account on any more accounts to share because I have it shared with somebody already. But I think if I add you as a family member, that would give you access to my games. Like if you ever wanted to try Elden Ring or anything. Oh, I didn't tell you. I was telling Vinny this. As soon as I get over this really stupid problem I'm having, I have a gaming computer now. I can do stuff on PC. And the stupid problem is my friend Joe. He gave me the computer because I gave my it was just like a standard like work laptop. I gave it to his girlfriend to use because I wasn't using it, and he gave me his gaming laptop, which is much better of a machine. But the trade off is that the battery's shot, which doesn't really matter to me because I'll just use it plugged in. But we can't remember what the password for the account he made for me is, so I can't log into it. But once I do, I'll have something I can play games on desktop with. I can't say much to how good of a computer it is because I haven't had the ability to test it much, but it can at least run GTA 5 at full settings. At least it could like 5 years ago whenever he set it up at Angie's Loft, so that's at least good. I don't have any flash drive to reset it with anymore, and I find that really dumb because I used to have like a million of those damn things. Is that Italian, I bet. Yeah, that reminds me. Whenever I was in marching band, I wanted to audition for the major slash section leader when I was doing my junior year. But since I didn't go to North Allegheny my freshman year, I wasn't motivated. Oh, I had my stomach covering it like I used to do. But I wanted to audition for a section leader, one of the drum major positions. But you had to be in the band for 2 years, and even though I had gone through band camp my freshman year, I dropped out of NA and transferred to Kiski my freshman year. So I wasn't eligible because I'd only been in the band for 1 year. So I go up to Mr. Baldi and say, "You're doing this because I'm white, aren't you?" God, I don't know. I'm getting old, I think. I keep having like these flashbacks to high school randomly. I'm not supposed to feel sentimental either. I even missed my chances with the one thing I could that would have brought the fucking house down at North Allegheny, but I missed up. Without going into too much detail, let's just say that one of the superintendents that retired a few years ago used to be the vice principal at my elementary school, and he put his hand somewhere it shouldn't have been on my body when I was a little kid. But I never brought it up, except to like my parents and my friends, and he's already retired. I missed my chance. I can still remember it exactly. I got called to the office because I got in trouble. It happened a lot because I was always getting in trouble. And I was walking down the hallway towards the office, and I didn't really like him that much, and he walked by me, and I kind of gave him this fuck you look. And the next thing I knew, I was pinned down with a hand somewhere it shouldn't be. And then he immediately pulled it off and let me back up, and nothing was ever said again. Like, it wasn't something that was bad enough that like it was like some life-altering event where like I got raped or something, but I definitely got touched somewhere I shouldn't have been. But he knew he could get away with it. I was the troublemaker kid that was always getting in trouble. Well, if I fucking said anything, nobody would believe me anyway. I knew that too. It's so funny whenever you see women playing video games or whatever, because the rules of the internet still apply. Like, there are no women on the internet. It's a man in some shape or form. And like, I'm not even saying that to knock women. It's just that women, like, it's not as much as it used to be, but like, women do not really care about video games as much as men do. Except the Harry Potter game, apparently. If you have a girl that like, for whatever reason you want her out of your life for like 2 weeks, buy her a copy of the Harry Potter game that came out last year, and she will seal herself away. Well, no, I'm talking about Joe's girlfriend, because like she's not like I'm being nice, but like she's not anywhere close to being on Joe or my level mentally. But she's nice and they get along, so I nice to her as much, like whatever. But I bought her the fucking Switch version of the Harry Potter game, which is like objectively the worst version of that game. Like, they had to have used actual magic to get it to run on the Switch, because that game was originally developed as a fucking PS5 game. She played the fuck out of that game. Incidentally, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a pretty solid game. It's not like top tier. It gets repetitive, but you can tell that the people that made it actually cared about Harry Potter and more than just trying to make a buck. You could tell that it was a passion project. It just gets a little bit repetitive after a while. Do you know the J.K. Rowling though? It's really funny that transgender people have basically declared J.K. Rowling as public enemy number one. Oh, dude, if you like Google J.K. Rowling and any amount of like transgender discourse, these people, you have to know what happened. They're people that grew up adoring Harry Potter and being obsessed with the story of it, and then they decide to tune out, and then their hero author doesn't agree with what they believe in, so they have to reject her. The funniest part is that J.K. Rowling has never said anything that was particularly bad about transgender people. It was more along like, I believe that women need their own spaces separate from trans women, but I still love and respect trans women, which is a hell of a lot more than I would say.
But it was like the most normal response you could say, and she's turned into fucking Hitler for it. And these people, like, oh my god, they had a meltdown when the Harry Potter game came out because they were all trying to organize boycotts against it and shit. And the game, their boycotts did not accomplish a fucking thing because the game sold millions of copies. Oh, you're good. I wish I could eat some food, but I'm not hungry. What? Sorry, say that one more time. That's pretty much par for the course for the games that I play. Oh, I'm going in blind too. We're gonna go in blind together because it'll be funny. Yeah, I need to turn the temperature down. It's not that it's too hot; it's that my body temperature is getting too high. Oh fuck! I completely zoned out and forgot I was in a call for a second there. Also, I'm playing a deck that I have absolutely no idea how to play in ranked right now, so wish me luck. I don't understand what my issue with this deck is. Like, I copied the list to the top of the event. It could not for the life of me figure out how this deck plays. Like, it has to be me. Yo, what is it? I was gonna tell you not to bother, but because I'm not that hungry, but that actually does sound very enticing. Well, my problem is that I just got my update to my refilled ADHD prescription today, and she upped my dosage, and I guess I need to get adjusted to this dosage because I have not been able to eat anything today. But I'll try. That sounds good enough to eat, man. I could go for some. That sounds good, and I could go for something sweet. All right, just call me when you're outside. Just give me a call when you're outside. All right, I'll see you soon. I'm coming out. Alright. Oh. Yo. I want to work tomorrow. Let's do that. It's whatever. The Sundays are. I don't even know where my controller is. I've been using the portal for so long. Dude, I'm so mad about this computer. Like, I know that the password is something simple like John or Jonathan or Pliny or password or something. I just can't figure out what it is. We can't remember what we set it to. But once I get this thing up, I can run some games on my computer, which should be cool. I don't know because I deleted all my text messages to free up some space because it was taking like 20 gigs of storage up, so I can't go back and check. It's been a while since we used it today. I just didn't need to use it until just now. My parents brought me this Reese's cup system. It's just really good. I cannot eat a thing with them. Well, actually, you were asking about that Legacy of Duel stuff. The one cool thing that it does is it has a draft format. I know it'd be like Magic. I don't know if you're into drafting at all, but Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't really have much in the way of drafting. It's an ancient pack. It's like from like 2014 or something, but it is a draft format, and it's the only online officially supported format that I've seen. I couldn't find any myself. I had to do some game ones. But if you're looking for a reason that you would buy that game specifically, it would be for something like that, maybe. That Legacy of the Duelist Yu-Gi-Oh game you were asking me about. Like, if you're asking if you should buy it, that is the one thing that it sort of does that other things don't, is the draft format. Well, it's not just on the Switch. I have it on PlayStation, but yeah, Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. It was originally only on Switch, but then the link update got ported to everything else. The only thing that is explicitly exclusive to Switch is the Rush Duel game. If you wanted to play Rush Duels, I would tell you to play Duel Links anyway. My opponent's name is Murder, Death, Kill. Pretty edgy. He's also playing one of the most obnoxious decks in the game. Oh, he got me. I'm also a little drunk and not playing anywhere near optimally right now, but it doesn't matter. Well, I see one because I surrendered. Because I didn't feel like playing against the deck that he was playing, and he outed my Infinite Imperm. This is sad. They're making a collection of old Yu-Gi-Oh video games, but it's only coming out on the Switch, it seems. They're making like a collection of like the old Game Boy Yu-Gi-Oh games. Oh, I misheard what you said. One of them is one of the first games I ever had as a kid, Dark Duel Stories. It has two runs of it. One of them had a Dark Magician, a Blue Eyes, and an Exodia head, and the other had a Hyosandru, a Salamandra, and one other card. But the Blue Eyes and Dark Magician prints from that are some of the most expensive cards that exist right now. This hand isn't very good. It's pretty good. I think they're not charging.
You know, it's kind of sad. It's something you'd probably be into more thinking about it, but like, it's annoying the way the currency works in Master Duel because it discourages you from building like fun or like funny decks. Can you hear me? Wow, this is the most roundabout way to get this board I have seen in my life. Probably could have done this better, but I'm a little drunk. Drunken combos don't mix super well, apparently. Alright, switch to a different game. Yeah, I think I'm going to.